Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and I'm excited to bring you another episode absolutely free. This episode is one of many released every month, totaling over 80 episodes so far. Each one is meticulously digitally restored and stored in the cloud for your convenience, a process that incurs costs. To help cover these expenses, you might hear some advertisements throughout the episode. While we do retain the original commercials for historical authenticity, you may also encounter modern ads, which help keep the lights on. If you prefer an ad-free experience, we offer a couple options. You can listen to the episodes on YouTube, where they don't include the audio ads, although YouTube may provide their own ads on their platform. Alternatively, you can also support us by becoming a patron on our Patreon page. For more information, go to otrwesterns.com/donate. Again, otrwesterns.com/donate. I do want to emphasize that we are committed to providing this content to you for free, but also we have to be transparent about the financial realities to bringing this to you. To those of you who are already supporting us, we extend our heartfelt thanks. Your contributions make it possible for us to continue doing what we love. And as a final note, I did want to mention one last thing. If you are paying for a service, let's say like Audible, and you're listening to this show on that site, they do not provide any financial or monetary means to this podcast. We provide it to them as a way for you to be able to listen, but they don't help us in any way. So again, thank you to everybody who is already supporting, and those of you who want to support us in the future, I deeply appreciate it. Now, let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be The Lone Ranger. Original air date is May 16th, 1947, and the title is The Bully. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Silver! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fellow. I'll Silver. Away! Bart Garson was known to everyone in Concho City as a hulking bully. His home was a shack a few miles out of town. Anna did her best to keep the small place neat and clean, but hers was a discouraging task. Years of poverty and constant fear of her good-for-nothing husband had given her a haunted, terror-stricken look. The two called Billy their son. He was thin and undernourished and looked a couple of years younger than his actual age of 16.
Annie? Annie, where are you?
I'm coming, Bart. I'm coming. I was just getting some wood for the fire. There.
That worthless kid was around here. He could carry the wood in for you. Where is he?
Bart, you know where he is. You sent him into town.
Well, why isn't he back?
Hasn't had time, Bart.
Thunder, you're arguing with me again.
No, Bart.
And calling me a liar. You did, didn't you? Called me a liar right in my own home. Well, answer me.
Bart, you gotta get the wood and over the fire.
Oh, the fire will go out, will it? So the fire's more important than me. Fine, how do you do when a man gets treated like that right in his own home?
I think that's Billy now.
Yes, it's about time.
Bart, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna teach that kid a lesson. When I send him to town, I want him to come right back and not dawdle on the way and keep me waiting for my tobacco.
Please, Bart.
Or stand aside.
Please, Bart. Please don't beat Billy.
Don't you tell me what to do. I'm bringing that kid up. I won't tolerate no interference from you.
I went to town.
And where else did you go?
Where else? Nowhere else.
Don't lie to me, you fresh young pipsqueak. You dawdled on the way just to be cussed.
No, I
You knew I was waiting for that tobacco I sent you for. Where is it?
couldn't get it, Pa.
What?
Please, Pa, don't hit me.
You couldn't get my tobacco. Why couldn't you get it?
The soap that you used up all your credit at the store.
I don't believe that. I think you're lying to me.
No,
I'll say you lied. I'll bet you didn't even go to town. Where did you go?
I went to town, Pa.
You tell me the truth.
Pa, look out.
What the...
Look out for that horse. He's going for you. And it serves you right.
Get back, you old sidewinder. Get down, I tell you. Tackle me, will you? Well, I'll show you.
No, Pa, don't shoot. Don't shoot my horse.
Tried to kill me. Well, I'm learning them, see?
Drop that gun.
What?
He's mad.
I said drop it.
Drop it, my eye. I'll turn it on you.
Look out.
Try this.
My wrist. Why, you meddling polecat. Take that whip off my arm and fight fair. I'll break you in two.
Well,
Where did you come from, mister?
water trough on the other side of your house.
Good-for-nothing masked owl hoot.
We're going to try to break the masked owl hoot in two. Do you still want to try it?
I'll show
Oh,
you.
no, leave that gun on the ground.
I'll take you apart without a gun. I'll show you.
You missed.
Yeah, well, I won't miss this one. Well, why don't you fight like a man? Why don't you stand still?
Come again. I won't dodge.
And I'm a coming.
And you take it.
Why, you...
Here's another.
Right on the chin.
Hit him again. I will. And once more.
No.
Now, you've had enough. Stay down there. You want some more? Get up.
I'll kill you for this. I'll get you if it's the last thing I do.
Come in here yelling. I think maybe you need help.
Didn't need any help for him, Tonto.
An outlaw and a redskin. I'll get both of you.
Right here waiting for you.
I'll get you another time.
I've heard a lot about you, Garson. None of it good. I've heard about the way you treat your wife and this boy. The way you treat your horses. I think you deserve more than you got. Now get on your feet.
Now, wait. 2 against 1. That's not fair.
Come on. Up you come. Tonto won't interfere.
Now, wait, listen. I'll meet you another time. You got the advantage now.
Well, all right. You listen to me, Garson. When Tonto and I have gone, you'll probably be uglier than ever. But let me tell you something. If you lay a hand to your wife or this boy, you'll get just about 3 times as much as you hand out. Now get back to the house.
You ain't heard the last of this, mister.
Gosh, mister, you sure can fight.
Tonto and I were on the other side of the house. We heard just about everything that happened. Did he hurt you?
Oh, not much. But gosh, if you hadn't have stepped in, he'd have shot my horse, and then I don't know what he'd have done to me.
Your name is Billy, isn't it?
That's right.
Tonto, will you go and get the horses?
You get him.
Do you think you can remember something, Billy?
Sure I can, mister.
Well, Tonto and I have a camp not far from here. Don't bother to look for it. You won't find it. But if either you or your mother need help,
Yes.
signal us. We'll come at once.
You mean if Pa gets mean again?
Yes, Billy.
He won't forget what happened, and he'll blame me for it. But how will I signal you?
You don't have a gun?
Pa keeps a spare gun in the cupboard. I can get that.
Good. Now, if you need help, fire 3 shots. That will be the signal.
You'll be able to hear them?
We will.
Here's Scout, Silver.
Gosh, they're sure fine horses.
We think so, Billy.
Mister,
Yes, Billy?
are you and Tonto wanted by the law real bad?
We're not wanted at all.
But you're wearing a mask.
Don't you worry about it.
Honest to gosh, you're not outlaws.
Honest to gosh, Billy, we're not. Why?
God, well, 'cause I think you're tops, and I sure wouldn't want the law to get you.
Thanks. Steady, easy, big fella.
Adios, Billy. Get him up.
Come on,
Scout.
Silver.
The camp established by the Lone Ranger and Tonto was, as the masked man had told Billy, within gunshot sound of Bart Garson's home. But it was well concealed in an arroyo.
Oh, Silver.
Oh, Scout. Oh, fella.
Steady, easy, big fella. Tonto, I've been thinking over what just happened.
You give feller plenty bad licking.
He had it coming to him. He's even worse than the stories we've heard about him.
That's right. You not loose and cinch? You ride again?
In just a minute.
Oh.
But you'll stay here, Tonto. We promised Billy protection. One of us has to stay here in case he fires 3 shots.
And where you go?
Tonto, what did you think of Billy?
Oh, him plenty fine-looking boy. Me like him.
I did, too.
It too bad him got fella like Garson for father.
That house is no place for him. Not while Garson lives there.
And what we do?
I don't know, Kemosabe. There must be something that can be done to give a fine lad the sort of home he's entitled to. And Anna Garson as well.
Her Bart's wife?
Yes. I've heard that she's mighty unhappy. I'm going to see if something can't be done about it. I'm going into town to see the sheriff.
Oh, Kemosabe. You go to town, that's plenty dangerous. People see you with mask, maybe shoot in sight.
It'll be dark by the time I get there. Easy, steady a minute, big fella. Adios, Tonto. Come on, Silver.
Jim Roper, the sheriff at Concho City, was an unusual man for the position. Young, wealthy, and well-educated, he had chosen to be a lawman in memory of a tragedy that had struck his family while he was still a boy, leaving him with a burning hatred of criminals. Jim rode down Concho City's main street at a slow gait as darkness settled over the community. It was his regular early evening tour of inspection. At the end of the street, he drew rein, halting where the night shadows met the lights cast from the numerous cafes.
Oh, boy. Oh, easy. Plenty going on in town. Plenty of chances for trouble.
Sheriff.
Who said that?
I did.
Where are you?
I've been waiting for you, Sheriff.
Easy, boy. Who are you?
Oh, that's unimportant. What counts is this. We're both on the same side of the law.
You're masked.
Hold it.
Get your hand. A gun on me, huh?
Relax now. Put it away. There's no need to slap leather. I'm not an outlaw.
But that mask.
What I said still goes. We're on the same side.
Go on from there. What do you want?
Information
What information?
concerning Bart Garson, his son, and his wife.
Why?
Because I've taken an interest in the boy. He's not got the chance he deserves.
Talk some more. Tell me the real reason for your interest in that boy. Why are you asking about him? What's back of it?
I've told you the truth.
Are you a friend of Bart Garson?
No?
An enemy?
I saw him this afternoon for the first time, and I knocked him down.
Why?
He was too rough on his son.
Have you any suggestions?
No, that's why I came to you.
What makes you think I'd be able to do something about it?
I've heard a lot about you, Roper.
Yeah?
Yeah, all of it good.
Now, look here, mister. You've made me downright curious. You said you'd heard a lot of things about me. I wonder if I've heard things about you.
What do you mean?
You say you're not an outlaw. You say you're interested in the welfare of a boy. For the boy's sake, not because of any benefit you'll get. I've been thinking those things over while we've been talking. And I can think of only one man who'd act as you're acting. And he, incidentally, is said to travel on a white horse. Just as white as that one over there in the shadow.
You know, Roper, every once in a while, that man you're talking about is surprised.
He is, huh? Why?
He's surprised to find that people have heard of him.
He calls his horse Silver.
That's the name of my horse.
He uses silver bullets.
So do I.
Coincidence can only go so far. You're the Lone Ranger.
I didn't know whether or not that would mean anything to you.
Oh, it means a lot to me, mister. For 10 years I've been hoping to meet you. And I mistook you for an outlaw.
That often happens. Jim, you brought law to Concho City. I've often wondered why you have such a burning hatred for outlaws.
Why shouldn't I hate him? I'm a lawman.
Yes, you're a lawman, but not for the salary it pays. You inherited one of the best ranches in this territory from your father. It's not necessary for you to hold a job.
I took this job because I thought it might lead me to a man I've looked for 15 years.
An outlaw?
I guess so. You see, mister, I had a brother. He was abducted before he was a year old. The loss was more than Mother could stand. It killed her. It licked my father. He spent all his waking hours searching for the boy right up till the day he died. And I took up the search, and I'm still at it.
I see.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to find you. I wanted to know you. You cover a lot more ground than any sheriff could hope to cover. You help me find my brother or learn what's happened to him and find the man who stole him. If you'll do that, I'll do anything you want.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit it to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. After his encounter with the Lone Ranger, Bart Garson had left the house. At bedtime, he had not returned, and Anna worried. She lay wide awake in the small, cell-like bedroom, knowing that Bart's defeat would be blamed on Billy, and wondering what would happen when the bully came back home. Midnight found her still awake and worried. Finally, she rose, pulled a shawl about her thin shoulders, and went to the room where Billy lay.
Billy? Billy?
Is that you, Mom?
Were you sleeping, son?
Mom, what's the matter?
I've got to talk to you, Billy.
What's wrong?
That masked man who was here...
Gosh, couldn't he fight?
That masked man who was here this afternoon. The one that made Bart leave you be. You don't know who he is, do you, son?
Gosh, no.
Did you like him, Billy?
Oh, golly. When I'm grown up, I want to be just like him. Were you watching, Mom? Did you see how he handled Pa?
Listen, Billy.
Huh?
Move over a bit so that I can sit down on the edge of the bed. I've got to talk to you.
Sure.
You won't tell Bart about this, will you, Billy?
Of course not, Mom. What is it?
It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. It's something terrible that happened once that I thought about until sometimes I was afraid I'd go right out of my mind.
Gee, Mom, What is it?
Billy, it's something I didn't know about at the time. I found out about it after. A long time after. And ever since, it's been on my mind something awful.
Gee.
Now I just can't stand it any longer. I don't know who to tell.
Can't you tell me, Mom?
Not just yet. It'd have to be somebody else.
Sheriff Roper. Why don't you tell him?
Oh, I couldn't, Billy. You wouldn't understand.
Huh?
Sometimes, son, when you've loved somebody an awful lot, even when you find out he's bad, mean, he's done things he should be made to pay for, why, you just don't have the heart to make him do it.
Mom, you mean you care for Pa?
I don't know. I loved him at one time. I married him.
You're talking so funny, Mom.
I thought maybe I could tell that masked man about it, and the law wouldn't have to know.
Why, sure you can.
Could you find him?
No, but I can get him here by firing 3 shots with the gun.
You can?
We've got signals fixed up between us. You just sit right there and
You're scheming, Kyle.
Pa!
I heard you double-crossing little sneak.
You won't get me.
Hey, come back here.
That masked man will fix you.
You're harder to lay hands on than a yellow-livered Kyle.
I'll show you.
Here. Is this what you're living for?
You got it.
Yeah. Thought you'd signal the masked man, huh? I heard you talking. I was outside the door. I heard you too, Annie. Come here. Come here, do you hear me? I'll show both of you a thing or two. I won't stand for being double-crossed in my own home.
Bart, please.
And you first.
No, let me go.
Yeah.
You're twisting my eye.
Yeah.
Let him go, Bart. Let the boy
You
go.
shut up. I'll pick up that can of coal oil.
Bart, you've gone mad.
Don't move my arm. Please, please, Pa.
The coal oil. Now tip it over. Tip it out. Spill it all over the floor.
No. Bart, let the boy go. Let him go. Do you hear me?
You get back.
Mom, are you hurt?
No, Billy. I'm all right.
Spill that coal oil out. Go on, hurry up. You do as you're told around.
I am.
I've stood all I'm going to stand a double-crossing in my own family. You, Anna, you were going to tell all you knew. Don't lie to me. I know different. I heard you. I'm fed up with both of you. All right, you can throw that can aside now. Now go into your bedroom.
You wait.
You, Anna, get in there with him. Go on.
Bart, you've taken me to your senses. You don't know what you're saying or doing.
Get in there. That's better. It's about time I got some obedience around here. Now I'll fix it so as you won't be bothered by the smell of coal oil on the floor.
The Lone Ranger had finished his conference with Sheriff Jim Roper and returned to camp where Tonto had been waiting.
So, Tonto, that explains why Jim Roper would rather hunt down criminals and manage his property.
Oh.
I learned more about Garson.
And what that?
He was born and raised in this section. He was no good from the start.
Oh.
From the time he was a boy, he was a thief, a liar, and a cheat. He began to steal horses and cattle as he grew older. He got away with it for a time, and some of the ranchers caught him stealing longhorns. Instead of letting the law have him, those ranchers turned him over to his own father to punish him as he saw fit. Bart went away. He was gone for 5 years. He didn't come back until after his father was dead.
You come back to this ranch?
Yes, wasn't very much when he took it over. He's gone down ever since.
Oh, him plenty lazy. Him good for nothing.
Tonto, listen to this. This is the important part. When Bart came back, he had with him a wife and a young child.
Oh.
The child was just about the age of Jim Roper's brother at the time he disappeared.
You think maybe Bart's stealing?
I don't know, Tonto. But I do know this. Jim Roper's father was one of the cattlemen who caught Bart stealing.
Oh.
I'm wondering if Billy is Jim Roper's brother. Bart seems to hate the boy. Perhaps every time he bullies him, he feels he's getting revenge on Jim's father.
Well, if Billy not son of Garson, maybe woman know truth, huh?
That's what I want to find out.
Sheriff Roper know what you think?
No, Tonto. He's never had reason to suspect that Garson wasn't Billy's own father. But I'm going to talk to
Wait,
Anna.
Kimasabi, wait.
What's the matter?
Over there. You look.
Looks like a fire.
Ah, maybe fire at Garson house.
Come on, Tonto. Throw your saddle on and cinch up. We're riding.
It was some time after the Lone Ranger and Tonto leaped to the saddle and raced to the Garson ranch. Bart Garson reined up his sweating horse in front of Jim Roper's home in Concho City.
Ho, 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 fella. Steady. Sheriff. Hey there, Sheriff. Open up, Roper. Hurry and open up. Hey, Sheriff.
That's you, Bart?
Sheriff, you gotta hurry. Climb into your clothes. Hurry up.
What is the matter with you?
My house is on fire.
What's that?
And my wife and boy are both trapped inside.
I'll be with you in just 10 seconds.
The sheriff didn't even stop to dress. He pulled trousers over his nightshirt, pulled on his boots, a coat, and then raced to the Garson house with Bart following him.
Boy.
Get up there.
When he got there, the fire was an inferno. The building was nearly consumed.
Ho, ho, ho. They're in there. They're in there, I tell you. We got no chance to save them. There goes the roof.
Jim Roper returned to town some time later, weary and grimed with soot.
Oh,
And Bart Garson was with him when he reined up in front of his office.
Easy. Inside, Bart.
Steady, fella. What?
Inside, I said. You swore you heard Billy and your wife inside the shack while it was burning. But we didn't find any sign.
I know. I'm hoping that they got out somehow.
Let me get this lamp. Now, look here, Garson. We waited around until the fire had died down so we could search the ruins. We searched them thoroughly.
Yes, I know.
Your folks weren't in there. Now, I want you to sit down at that desk and write out everything you know about the fire and then sign it.
But I told you everything.
Put it in writing.
Well, that's silly ideas. Seems like a lot of blame foolishness.
Never
to
mind
me.
how it seems. Just do as you're told.
I'd like to see what he writes.
What the...
There's another surprise for you, Garson. Come out here, Billy.
You bet I will.
You here? Well, I'll show you.
I thought you'd go for your gun.
Well, it's fun. I'm right
Sheriff!
around.
Sheriff, that masked man, he shot me. Get him.
Suppose you listen to what Billy has to say about the fire.
You locked Mom and me in that room and then set fire to the house. You went away and left us locked in.
Why, you sneaking double-crossing...
Hold it, Carson. Is that true?
No, don't believe a word he says.
It is true.
Take my word for it, Jim. Todd and I saw the fire and rode to the house in time to get Anna and Billy out.
No, Jim, don't believe that masked man.
He doesn't have to believe me. He has Billy's word for what happened.
I know who to believe. Carson, for what you've done.
Just a minute, Jim. There's more. Anna will tell you that I'm speaking the truth. She's right in the next room resting. And Garson, she has no reason to keep your secret any longer. No reason to be afraid of you now.
Anna. Anna's here?
She is. You'll tell Jim that Billy's not your son.
What?
You've been looking for your brother, the man who stole him. Well, Billy's your brother.
And Garson? She told on me. She double-crossed me. I knew she'd do it. That's why you...
Ah, Sheriff.
Oh, I shouldn't have hit him. He was wounded. I forgot myself. You, Billy. You're my brother.
Golly, Sheriff, I can't believe it.
That sneak on the floor stole you.
Then my mom...
Anna didn't have any part in the scheme, Jim. She said she didn't, and I believe her. You will, too, when she tells you how Garson threatened to kill the boy when he was a baby if she didn't take orders. You owe a lot to Anna. If it hadn't been for her, you'd never have seen your brother alive.
You say she's in the next room?
Yes, Sheriff, I'm here. I'll give you a statement about Bart. I'm not afraid of that beast anymore.
Anna, you and Billy and we've got a lot to talk over as soon as I do two things. I've got to throw Garson into jail.
Sheriff, he just went out the front door. Oh, golly, don't let that masked man get away.
Why, we owe everything to him.
It's no use trying to hold him. I guess the Lone Ranger figures his work here is done.
The Lone Ranger.
Oh,
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. And send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.